knowledge I'd like to share. I've been a ravenous consumer of the corn and corn-related dishes for the better part of 30 years. So I believe my input is grounded in science. Nebraska sweet corn is an all-around inferior product when compared to Iowa sweet corn. Nebraska's failure of a cob tastes like broken dreams and buttholes. It smells like wet garbage, or as the Nebraskans would call it, cornhusker football. Who the fuck thinks of this shit? Sincerely, a farmer from Iowa. Thank you, Bryce. I think you should make your way to the door now.
Come a-running, boys, don't you hear the noise? Like the thunder in the sky. How it rolls along in a good old song from the sons of Nebraska. Now it's coming near with a rising cheer that'll sweep all foes away. So with all our vim, we're about to win, and we're going to win today. In the takes of old, Johnny Vanderbilt would just take that ball in hand, and with Benedict right in front of him, they would set sail for the land. Then the eager two, with the chosen few, would be around everywhere, and before they quit, they would come us in, down behind that goal post there. For Nebraska and the Scarlet, for Nebraska and the Green, though they go through many battles, our colors still are state, and so they want to stand in victory. We'll wave them for the team, and we'll always stir a cornhusker, the Scarlet and the Green.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt.
I'm Jimmy.
We're your two average guys. So we promised you last week we'd have a little something for you since we ended our bolus drought and we ended our Wisconsin drought for 12 years. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up a little video that we shot today just to celebrate that before we talk about last night, because we're gonna celebrate first before we actually talk about what happened last night against Iowa. So Brian, cue it up when you're ready.
Enjoy.
Enjoy, please do. So we didn't get the win yesterday against Iowa, which we're going to talk about that, don't worry. But what we did do this year as a Husker team, we finally got to 6 wins, which again, not great. I don't call it a winning season. But we finally ended our bolus drought since 2016, and we beat Wisconsin for the first time since 2012. So we're going to celebrate.
Yes, we are.
Of course we are. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Beer,
Let's go.
So, well, thank you. Thank you. All right. Open them up here. All right. All right, here we go. Cheers. That's my line. Guys, that's so. So hopefully you enjoyed that little show there.
As much as Matt did.
As much as I did. I've been waiting to do
definitely enjoyed that.
You know, we talked about it last year about doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin. I thought for sure we were going to get to do it last year. And, you know, we didn't get to. So I figured, you know what? We got to do it this year. And we did. And it was fun. It was exciting. And I don't know how Stone Cold did that so often, but I don't think he drank much beer. I know I didn't when I did.
I didn't get much down.
But anyways, you know.
A lot of it ended up on your shirt a little bit, but
again, you know,
Matt had to change.
I did, but 6-6. Listen, again, not a winning season.
Not when you start 5-1.
Not to me, it's not even a successful season. Again, it may not seem like much, but 6-6 and 7-5 are so very different. If we go 7-5, to me that feels much different and much more successful.
With ending the season beating Wisconsin and Iowa, which we should have done.
Mm-hmm.
And a bowl game. I mean, we talked about it last week. A bowl game is big. I mean,
Yeah.
team together for another month. I mean, that just has its weight in gold. But when you're starting 5-1, I heard a lot of talk of, if this team ends 6-6, it almost kind of seems like a failure of a season when you're 5-1. I know the back half of our schedule was quite a bit tougher than the first half, but when it was all said and done, I mean, some of those teams really aren't that great. So, but we still got 6 wins. But I guess we can talk about the game yesterday if you want.
Yeah, not a success. And yesterday went as scripted over the years, as we've seen over and over and over again.
I mean, it did, aside from the fact that we kind of not necessarily dominated the game, but we were the much better team in that game. And that hasn't necessarily always been the case. We've maybe had some long touchdowns or long plays that kept us in the game, but I mean, we kind of owned them. I mean, they couldn't move the ball. They had 5 first downs. First downs, and they
stats,
won the game.
The stats alone tell a very different story when you talk about domination. 20 first downs to 5. Third down efficiency, 8 of 17,
0 of 10.
for 10. Passing, 190 to 115, and 72 of that was on one play where we had 5
A
guys
screen play.
unable to tackle. And so that's an issue in itself. But, Jimmy, go into some of those other stats we got.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Hey, Patrick, we got to get you fired up. Of course we do, brother. On the ground, they had 49 rushing yards to our 144. 49. They had the second best running back in the entire country as far as statistically. He couldn't run. Every other play was a loss for 2. Maybe he'd get a few yards, loss of 2. But one MFing screen pass goes for 72-yard touchdown. It changed the entire dynamic of the game.
And we, again, Bullock had him wrapped up.
I know.
Up top, which is fine. But then we had 2 guys come and push Bullock.
I know.
Instead of going for the legs. So we had 2 guys try to do the exact same thing Bullock was doing when Bullock had him around the top. Johnson's not an easy guy to take down. There's a reason why he's one of the best, second best back in the country, behind Janty. It's because he is really good. He's strong, especially up top. You got to go for the legs on any running back, and we failed to go for the legs.
I expected a play like that on the ground, but not a screen pass. Not when we had 5 guys tackling him.
And I think that's probably the most frustrating to me about that game is statistically we won in every single category except for turnovers.
Right. And then when you turn the ball over, when you're, I guess, essentially trying to milk the clock to go to overtime, or get in a position to maybe kick a field goal. We also missed a field goal. I think it was a bad snap,
horrible
bad
snap.
hold.
Horrible snap. The snap was horrible. The hold was horrible. It was all bad. Which I don't blame Holt for that at all. He had made 9 straight.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. He started off the season 0 for 4, then he makes 9 straight. And then we get a horrible snap, which laces in, and that everything was off on that.
Laces out,
I don't even blame him on that. It's just
laces out, Dan. But no, I turn the ball, like, it just, like you said, it was just such an Iowa game. Like, such a Nebraska versus Iowa game. Like, we fumble in a territory where they have to kick a long field goal, and they make it. And it's like, we lost 13-10 last year.
Yeah.
And we lose 13-10 again.
Yeah. And again, 10-0 at half. And we came out in the second half. And again, like, what were we doing? Like, there's 3 plays in a row in the fourth quarter. On one possession, on first down, we ran for 7 yards. We ran for 9 yards. Then we ran for 7 yards on first downs. And then we decide we're going to pass it 3 times. And we do a really stupid, fancy, like, end around. We were running between the tackles really well. And then we decide we're going to do a stupid-ass end around, which got us nowhere. And then behind line of scrimmage, it got us 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And then we decide, now we have to pass. So that is so frustrating that we have all that momentum in the run game, which Iowa's defense doesn't give up a lot of rush yards, and we ran for 144 yards. We could have kept pounding the rock over and over again until it didn't work, but we got 1, 2, 3 yards to go, and we pull up a pass play. I continue to not understand that.
Can we check out those stats again? I just want to see as far as...
And Donnie, we'll get your comment here on that fumble. I have some things to say on that, too.
Can we go by individual player?
Yep.
Because I know I was like, feed Emmett the rock. He wasn't, he was getting a little stonewalled. We run Ramir Johnson, and he was running pretty well.
Ramir did well. Dowdell actually had a really
Dowdell
good game.
actually did too.
Excuse me.
I just curious. I didn't check it out.
So Emmett had 71 yards.
Okay.
Dowdell with 50. Ramir 21. Again, 18 carries, 71 yards. He's averaging 4 yards a carry. But again, some of those runs up the middle were 7, 8, 9 yards. I mean, that's...
Well, and the few times Dylan kept it, like, he either got a first down or he should have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hate Iowa so much, and, like, just the way it transpired, the way it did. Like, their quarterback absolutely sucked.
Yeah. I mean, he's a linebacker. So... in the beginning of the game, it's like, all right, you know what you have to do to win this game? You got to stop the run.
And we did.
And cover the tight end. Those are the two things. Cover Lachey, stop the run.
And we did.
We did both those things. And we did both those things really well.
We had turnover, 3 points.
So here's what happens, Jim. So
72-yard screen pass.
We missed the field goal.
And then a turnover, 3 points. That's the only way they won that game.
It started with the missed field goal.
Right.
After that, they go 3 and out. They kick it to us. We screw up on special teams we always do.
Yep.
Which Garcia Castaneda again. Our returning this year has been awful all year. It's been really bad. But Garcia Castaneda, just get the hell out of the way. If you're not going to catch it, just get out of the way. Yeah. And so he kind of stumbles to the ground onto his knees and ducks. Well, the crowd goes crazy, and watching on TV, I thought it hit him.
I thought it hit him too.
And then watching the replay, it's like, I wasn't really even close. Yeah. But then our return guys, our guys on the punt coverage, they hear the crowd. They see Iowa running after it, which Iowa's probably just going to try and recover it so it doesn't go in the end zone. I don't think they thought it hit our guy. I think they're going to recover it before it goes in the end zone.
Right.
And so we get 34 running after it, and then we get number 1 running after it.
And it goes off of 1.
It's a bang-bang, and 1 touched it just before the Iowa guy did. And luckily...
honestly, I thought it was too hard to tell. It looked like their hands were like this. It was like this.
I thought on the replay, I thought for sure 1's finger touched it right before their guy. But it doesn't matter because we
in other games that would go a different way. But okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because we still messed it up, right? Like,
no, we did. You're definitely right.
We still screwed up, and our punt coverage, and our punt returns. We returned one out of the end zone and ran it to the 18. Like you can't.
I mean,
our special teams has to start to realize like when are you going to realize you can't do that?
And I know that.
Stop.
Isaiah played some snaps last week and had some catches and whatever. But if he's not a player that's going to be on the field every snap, why is he back there returning punts? Like, put Barney back there.
Yeah.
Put Ramir Johnson back there.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Put Emmett Johnson back there. I mean, if he can catch. Anybody. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a sure-handed, let's just make, we've had our struggles over the years of guys catching balls. But... I don't know. You have to make some noise in that department because a lot of other teams do.
Yep.
That can swing a game.
You can, and we swing it the wrong way. And
100%.
Luckily, our defense was up to the challenge. And
our defense played absolutely phenomenal yesterday.
Lights out. Just the one play where we didn't tackle well.
The 72-yard screen pass.
Outside of that, our defense did everything they needed to do for us to win that game. Our offense was abysmal in the second half, especially. Yeah. First half, it wasn't stellar. We put 10 points up in the first. I'm thinking, hey, we just need to get one more touchdown. 17. We get 17.
I said if we get up 17 to nothing, there's no way Iowa's going to score enough points in the second half to beat us.
Even 17-10. If 10-10, I'm like, we just have to score a touchdown. Wow. We score a touchdown, the game is over. They're not going to score another touchdown. They're going to get a field goal range. That's all they're going to be able to do. And sure enough, we don't get a touchdown, and we don't do anything on offense. We get a drop in the middle of the field where Nair is wide open. touchdown probably. If not, darn close to where we're going to be in the red zone. We're going to get a touchdown. And it goes right through his hands again. Nair is one of probably the most overrated guys that transferred to Nebraska, where everyone thought he was going to be really good, and
he was early.
Yeah,
Early on, he was.
Banks was much better than him.
Banks is a sure-handed, phenomenal catcher. I'm not sure how good of a blocker that he is, but he's pretty good.
Well, and you know what? You know what happened yesterday with Banks is Raiola put the ball where only Banks could catch it. Only Banks was going to catch that ball. He high pointed that ball, and he knew the defender's smaller than Banks, and Banks went up for it. Fantastic catch. So kudos to Raiola. He actually had some really good passes yesterday.
No, he was really good in the first half. I think he was really good in the first half. The second half, I mean, I don't know. It just, everybody dropped off the map.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's play not to lose, and we played essentially to lose.
We played like Nebraska football against Iowa in the second half. And really, if you think about it too, like if you are in the lead 10-0, second half, you should be running the ball a lot more than what we are. Because even if we go 3 and out, giving them back the ball, play a game, play what Iowa does, which I hate saying that, but do what they do. It's all about field position.
Right, and speaking of,
Buschini had 2 really bad punts.
Had one especially really bad shank that I think led to. Did that lead to points for them? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, no, he's been great.
Yeah.
Like, this guy might even get a shot at the next level.
I bet he could.
And he still could, but I don't know.
Yeah, but again,
it's just a number of different things. Like all of our guys clicking at the same time in a big game. We can never have it.
But that's what Iowa can do, and teams like Iowa, even Wisconsin of old. We got the lead right now. Let's go ahead and just ground and pound.
I know.
Run the clock down as much as you can.
Even when they know you're going to run it, just run it right at them and run run right through them.
Averaging 3 to 4 yards a carry. Again, that's a first down on 3 runs in a row, or darn close to it. You play field position, you get Buschini to pin him down, even inside the 20. He did that a few times.
He did.
Get him inside the 20. You know that offense isn't going to go anywhere. And for some reason, that wasn't in our mind that it's a freaking cold day. So I imagine that football is hard as a rock. And Raiola wasn't slinging it very well in the second half. Give it to our guys out of the backfield. He didn't do a good job of hitting the checkdowns. He didn't do a good job of scanning the field and getting his vision. And I think our offensive line played really poorly in the second half.
Fair.
Benhart, that fumble, Benhart let him go right by him.
Yeah.
Benhart had a great game up until that point.
Pretty decent season. But
Up until that point, and again, Raiola, I don't think he feels pressure very well either.
No, there was one play in the first half where he had so much time, and there was one backside guy. All he had to do was take 2 steps forward, and it was like slow motion. He just kind of took his time and then got sacked, and it was like, man, just step up.
Like, does he feel like he's gonna just like slip away from him? It's like hard to tackle him because they're really not struggling to bring him down. He goes down very easily.
What's kind of hard is like a lot of our quarterbacks in the past, like any sense of pressure, they just
running.
took off and ran.
Yeah.
It's like we need to find that middle ground. Like, okay, so you can step up. You don't have to run. You can take a step forward, throw the ball. If there's nothing there, you can run.
Yep.
Because you can get 5 yards. We don't need you to get 30 yards. We just need you to take what is there.
Well, that's another. God, I feel like again we talk about this every year. I don't know what it is with coaches that come to Nebraska that think when you have 4 to 5 yards to go, you need to throw it 20 yards downfield. You got 4 yards to go. Throw a 5 or 6 yard pass. That is where your tight ends come into play.
Yep.
That is where you do a quick button hook with your tight end, and bam, you have him just stick it. You throw it right to him. We don't do that.
I did appreciate they had.
Borkacher has some great catches.
No, he has some great catches, but one in particular, it's like a 20, 25 yard pass to Fedoni, and I was like,
oh god,
that guy must be working his ass off to get on the field right now, because
is that the pass that
they
you
didn't necessarily call him out.
Yeah.
His mom went on
mom
social
or aunt
media,
or something.
somebody went on social
member.
media, and when he caught that ball, and I don't know what it was. It was little through the middle out, and I was like,
heck yeah.
He definitely is like, I can speak up for myself. I can work my butt off and get myself on the field.
Well, and another thing, and that's the thing. After Nair missed that pass right away, Dana pointed to him and said, "Off the field."
Yeah,
I pulled him right away.
Appreciate that.
And that's what you need from a coaching staff is one
accountability
that says,
for sure.
You fumbled the damn ball, you missed the ball, you're out. But another thing that Raiola, again, he's a freshman. He still has a lot of work to do. A lot of work.
He will be good.
He missed multiple receivers yesterday that were wide open.
Ramir Johnson, one time, big time.
Ramir Johnson, wide open. Fedoni, wide open. He threw it out of bounds. Out of bounds. It wasn't even close. He threw it out of bounds. So, yeah, so many times second half, third down at 10 or 12 yards to go, we throw 2 to 3 yards. John, why'd you bring that up? I was trying to talk about
what's
those.
up, my brother?
But, like, again, we do that over and over again. Like, hey, we got 10, 12 yards. We're just going to give up and go for a punt. No, try to get that first down. That's when you go 15 yards, not when you got 3rd and 4.
That's what I was saying. We were playing not to lose in the second half.
Yep. And maybe that's
Instead
why
of playing to win.
Maybe that's why I'm excited for next year because of Dana.
If Dana's here,
you better sign him to a long-term deal, my man. Oh my God! If we don't,
if he doesn't get a head coaching job offer, which he could, but
I'd be kind of maybe. I would see
he's
us
only coached a couple games, and we lost 2 of those games.
Let's get him under our belt. Oh, we beat Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh!
We beat Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh, Michigan! What are you doing?
Michigan screwed that up.
Oh my god!
But Dana, sign him to a deal. Get him on the staff. Get him. Now he's got time to work before our next bowl game. Or before our bowl game. That's apparently taking your helmet off. Can't do that before you get off the field. But you got to sign him to a deal. You got to get him on the staff. Get him time to work with the team before the bowl game and going into the next season.
I would sure hope that he might be excited. He's got Dylan Raiola, freshman.
Yeah.
Ja'Cory Barney, freshman. Carter Nelson, freshman.
And then we got new guys coming in.
We got new guys coming in.
Cortez Mills is
we got a lot of guys coming back, too.
Cortez Mills is a projected flip from Oklahoma to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, I've heard this more than once. A lot of people think Raiola is not coming back next year. That he's going to transfer. I understand the money thing. What I don't understand why people think that is, what has he shown that he's going to be able to do better at the next level? Is it better? I think he's had pretty good protection this year. He misses a lot of open guys. I don't think you're wrong that there's probably money being thrown at him. I just don't know what people have seen to say, you know what, he's going to take us to a championship.
Well, he needs to be a little bit more polished to go to the next level. Like, Patrick Mahomes is the best of the best, if you will, at times anyway. But Texas Tech was like 6-6.
Yeah.
7-5, maybe 8-4. It had to deal with a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't. I know they're an air raid offense, but they weren't going for natties. Like, he was getting pressure. He didn't play necessarily with the best teams.
Yep.
You can't just go to Ohio State or go to Alabama or go to Georgia or whatever, and it doesn't necessarily make you better.
Some of the differences are, though, to be devil's advocate on that statement and my own statement, is you bring in a kid that maybe had some success. He has a lot of potential. There's a lot of things that you feel like, hey, I have a better quarterback coach, and my quarterback coach can coach him. Even though he's got Mahomes' quarterback coach helping him too. But again, if he's, I just don't know. I feel like
I think it could happen.
You just never know
that he's coming back. I mean, you never know. He went to 3 different high schools or 3 or 4 different high schools. I mean, I guess you never know.
Yeah.
But I think he, with his dad being a legacy here, I don't know. It is a different world these days with NIL and portal and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, if he sticks around for another year or 2 and things don't get that much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could maybe see him going somewhere, but I think he at least stays for another year to try to get this thing looking the way that it should.
Yeah, and I think too, there's a lot of potential in him. I understand he's 19, he's a kid. He's got a lot of potential. He has a lot of ways to improve. If we don't have the right quarterback coach to help him, then we need to figure that out. And that's Rule's job. if we don't have a coach that's helping him improve, and Dana, and I do think Dana can help him too.
That's what I mean. I think
so
we have to hire, we got to hire Dana now.
So I'm
for next
thinking,
year. And
depending on how much Dominic believes, and I think you got to look at Donovan, how much he believes in what he sees in Dana, and if Donovan's staying around, that could make a big difference too. Because I feel like Dana has the right mindset for the offense, and we've seen some of that. Yesterday, maybe, not as much as we'd like to see as fans, but I think more yesterday was execution than it was actual play calling.
Right.
We didn't execute when we needed to. And then, again...
and that is a factor. It's not always about the coaches.
Yeah,
it is about execution.
And I had a buddy tell me that, you know what, this is on, Matt Rule. This is on coaching. We got out-coached. I don't think we got out-coached. I think our guys did not execute on the field. There are times where we've been out-coached this year more than once. There's been times where we haven't had good clock management. There's times where we haven't done the right things. We've called bad timeouts, yada, yada. Yesterday was not one of those times. I think yesterday was one of those times where we coached the game to our game plan, which was a successful game plan, but we did not execute the way we should have. Otherwise, if we executed, we would have won. If we executed, if we hit some of those passes down the middle of the field, we hit the wide open receiver, we see the wide open receiver and we hit him. Those are the kind of things that we're going to be successful and win games, but we didn't do that yesterday.
Well, and
it's not the first time.
The way Iowa plays is they play a field position game to essentially keep them in the game and maybe sneak a win, which they obviously did. So, game plan wise, you kind of have to adjust to having the ball inside your own 10, having your ball inside the own, and then it comes down to, maybe you can't run the ball when you want to.
Yep.
And when you do, maybe we don't execute the way that we wanted to. That's the way I guess I see how it went yesterday.
Yep. And that's, there's a lot of times where you can point this year where Satterfield play calling was not good. It was just atrocious.
Abysmal.
And we executed those plays, but they're swing passes behind the line of scrimmage and we don't block. So
we can't block.
So we executed that game plan, but the game plan was crappy. Now we're not executing the game plan when maybe the play calling is actually pretty good, and we don't hit what we need. And so yesterday that was the difference to me. The difference was execution. We did not get out coached.
And then one freaking screen pass touchdown.
Yeah. And John,
we can't get a screen pass touchdown. We can't get a screen pass for
it's true.
For positive yardage. They get a 72-yard when they can't move the freaking ball.
Yeah. Now, John, I do agree that some of those time patterns for Raiola is where he's successful. When those time patterns, he's going to be able to hit those guys. But again, if that first option's not there, he struggles to get to that second, third option, and sometimes that's our line. I'm not saying our line's been stellar this year, but I've seen a lot of improvement from our line.
And it could be no one's open necessarily right away, or second, third option maybe. You got to get a check down.
Yeah.
We've got very good running backs that, especially Ramon Johnson can catch the ball. Emmett, I think, can catch the ball. You got to be able to give it to those guys to maybe get 5 yards or
again
any positive gain at that point. As long as it's not like 3rd and 10. But I don't know. There's a lot of different variables that go into it.
Agree. And again, it was one of those games where, again, it's an Iowa game, and there's a lot of ups and downs where, hey, we're going to win the game. And then I feel like, and I had multiple people not only text me, but I was in the company of people. As soon as we missed the field goal, they said, "Here we go again." They knew right away that this game is over. We also have Brandon, who never had faith in Nebraska winning this game. I'm calling you out, Brandon. But he messaged us this morning and said, "Told you." Then they get that touchdown to tie it 10-10. Or they get their field goal and after our mistake. And everyone knew right away, boom, it's over. They just knew. Well, we're going to go back into our Nebraska way.
That's how it always is.
Carricker said it. That was the most Nebraska way to lose a game again to Iowa. It's what we've seen over and over again.
Fortunately, everybody, we did win last week, so that wasn't us having to get a bowl game.
It's true.
I
The
said,
last
I
2-3
said-
years?
I said all week. Well, we won 2 years ago, but for
No, but I'm saying like the last 2-3 years, not counting 2 years ago, I guess, but like what 3 of the last 4 years, it's been bowl game on the line.
Yes, and that's what I mean. Like that's why I thought we actually would win this game. Is the the pressure was off. 2 years ago, there was no pressure. We only had 4 wins. That was our bowl game.
Yep.
So we played loose and free, and that's how I thought we were in the first half yesterday. Thought we maybe could have had more than 10 points, but
Yeah.
then it was like we went back into Nebraska mode, and we were just trying to hang on for the win.
Yep.
And we know how that goes.
We know
Does
how that
not
goes.
go well.
We did not. Yeah, again, execution.
Execution.
But again, if you look at the positives from the season, we did see some improvement. We saw things go well here and there. It wasn't a total loss. It wasn't a total failure. To
No.
me, it was not a successful season because we didn't get a winning season. But we're going to a
If
bowl
we win
game.
the bowl game, then we have a winning season.
And that's the thing. I do, and Brandon, I appreciate you. You said we're not going to lose the bowl game. I think we're going to come into that bowl game very well prepared. We're also going to see guys like Quinn Clark. We're going to see Carter Nelson more often. We're going to see Harburg play. We might even see Danny Kalen play. We're going to see more guys get involved in that game because it doesn't matter. It doesn't go against your red shirt.
Right. And the only thing that's kind of a bummer is I thought if we won that game yesterday, 7-5, everything that I heard was
Tampa.
that, well, maybe.
That's
but
what I heard, yeah.
It was, Nebraska's probably going to play a team, and this still is probably the case.
Yeah.
Nebraska's going to play a team that has a better record than them, that right away you're going to be like, that other team's going to win. Put money down now. Because some of those middle to upper tier bowl games are going to reach down and try to snag Nebraska because our fans travel.
Yeah.
We haven't been to a bowl game in 8 years.
Yes.
So it's going to, be a bunch of people traveling, going to that, and a lot of eyeballs on
Whoever-
that game. So they're going to make a lot, whatever bowl game it is going to make a lot of money.
Whoever the bowl selection committee is, and whatever you're choosing for Nebraska, you are going to be very smart if you choose a warm place
Yes.
that Nebraska fans are going to travel to.
Especially if it's against a decent opponent. Give us Ole Miss.
If you put us in the damn Pinstripe Bowl where we're in New York and it's snowing, Nebraska fans will still show up, but that's not going to be a big moneymaker for you. You're going to have to choose a bowl game to where we are going to show up and be loud, be proud, and sell out a friggin' stadium. I talked to Scott Strunk over at Husker Hounds, and he's like, yeah, he goes, win or lose, I've been here in Tampa. And I'm like, fantastic. And even Arizona.
Is that which one's Tampa?
I don't remember. I honestly don't care. I think if we go to Tampa, we're going to get so many fans going. I would love to go to a bowl game. That'd be fantastic.
Me too. But
I
I
know.
got 4-month-old screamers
babies.
upstairs.
But, if Nebraska fans are going to go, now the question, and good question, Donnie, how many guys are going to opt out? We got a lot of seniors that,
Oh my God.
go Michigan. I don't know how many guys are going to opt out. That's a good question because how many NFL guys do we have on our team? I think Ty will play.
Ty is
Nash will play.
probably the only guy that might get drafted.
Yeah, and I think Ty and Nash.
I think that he plays though. Like he has so much pride for Nebraska, and it's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he could get hurt, I guess, but he's been here for 6 years and hasn't played in a damn bowl game.
He's going to play. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about the bowl game. I do not like Colorado. None of us we hate Colorado.
We beat Colorado, by the way.
We beat them. But Shadur and Travis already said we're not coming back. But they also said we're playing in our bowl game. Good for you.
They did?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And Dion said the same thing. He goes, they're both playing. Hell yeah. Like, to me,
Okay.
I have a lot of respect for that because
I do.
I don't care. You get hurt in
At any point in time.
at any point in time in the season. You're going to say, I don't want to play a bowl game because I could get hurt. That's going to hurt my draft stock. You could have got hurt in game 1 of the season, game 10 of the season, game 4 of the season. You can get hurt at any point in the season.
Well, and those guys haven't played in a bowl game either.
Yeah. But, like, why would you not want to go to a bowl game? Like,
They haven't played in a bowl game either.
you get a lot of free shit, too.
I mean, they'll still get the free shit.
You get a lot of
but-
free stuff. And so, like, to me, that'd be fun. I think Ty's going to play. Nash is going to play. I think all of our seniors are going to play.
Yeah,
I don't see
why they wouldn't.
The only guys I maybe would see not playing, maybe Nair doesn't want to play, maybe Banks, but like these guys. And
those guys have to because they're not going to get drafted.
I do see Banks. Banks has a chance. The dude has good
he'll
hands.
sign with somebody. He probably won't get drafted, but
yeah,
that's what I mean. He needs to play in a bowl game. Then maybe go to the Senior Bowl.
Yep.
He needs as much exposure as he possibly can.
Yeah,
at this point.
and so I hope we don't have anyone opt out. I hate the opt outs. Again, I understand people don't want to get injured, but again, you could get injured at any point. You get injured walking down the damn street.
If we're 10-2 and we don't make the playoff, and we go to a decent bowl game, yeah, I mean, I can see guys sitting out that maybe are going to go in the top 3 rounds.
Yeah, maybe. So it's all up in the air right now to me. I think I hope we don't have anybody opt out. I hate opt outs. Play your bowl game. Because then again,
unless you have an injury, and even then,
yeah,
I mean, it must be significant. But if you have a minor injury and you're like, I just want to, rehab in the off season. I don't want to risk getting hurt more for a bowl game where we're 6-6 and they're 6-6 or 7-5. I can see that, but
look.
Otherwise,
yeah,
we haven't been there for so long. Like they want to. I'm sure they're gonna want to really, really win this game. Like
look what happened with Florida State. There's so many opt-outs. They get thumped by Georgia. It's like you had so much confidence, and then you go get thumped. Bless you. But I think
it led to their start of the season, and then the middle of the season.
A little bit of a difference. A little bit of a difference with Nebraska. Of course, we're not 13-0, whatever. 13-1. We have an opportunity to go and win a bowl game, and I see all those guys, seniors, our offensive line, everybody saying, you know what, we're going to play. We're going to win that damn bowl game. We have one of the most, I guess, experienced offensive lines that have been together for the longest, the most amount of snaps.
Yeah.
I see them all playing. I don't see why not. Again, these guys, most of those guys are not going to get drafted. They might be a free agent. But
yeah, they might sign. I mean, I don't know. Potential-wise, maybe Ben Hart because he's had a decent season.
The funny thing about offensive linemen, I mean, we've talked about this before. Nick Gates was the starting center for the Giants. Nick Gates was not good in Nebraska.
Nick Gates sucked.
He was so bad. He was a starting center.
He was supposed to be
NFL.
so good, and he, then went to the NFL, and he was actually pretty good. He sucked at Nebraska.
But like you get these guys that are mediocre, but once they get to the NFL, they bulk them up, they do everything they need to do, and they work with them on the offensive line. They're successful. You don't have to be great in college to be great in the NFL, and we've seen that over and over and over again with a lot of guys across college football. So we have guys that have potential to be great in the NFL. Maybe they weren't great in college, but I see all our guys playing. I don't see too many opt-outs. Ross thinks that this was a worse loss than the Indiana loss. The only
I
reason
said Ole Miss. I know. I just wanting Ole Miss to not make the playoff,
Agreed.
and I was like, well, if they're like 8-4, maybe.
Well, and Ross, the only reason why I agree with you, this was a worse loss, actually, to me, than UCLA, than USC, is because we won on every facet of the game except for turnovers. That's the only thing I think of. Is we lost in every facet of the game except those two, the punt return and the fumble. We get those two things out, we still win the game. And again, the other special teams mistake on the bad snap.
That's how it always works out.
But I think that's why it was more frustrating to me, and I was more infuriated in that game, and it took me a while to go to bed because I was just so upset at the fact that the way we lost the game, it happened again. Kayla, what's up? So
Kayla, hey, congrats, Kayla. Kayla's having a baby boy.
Hey, congrats, Kayla. Woo woo. So can't stand Iowa. The fans, their players calling Nebraska classless. It's funny. I've heard Iowa fans are just garbage. Again, there's gonna be each and every pot, right? You're gonna have some really classless fans. But what's being called out is the handshake at the beginning of the game. We go back before that. They had 6 Iowa State Patrol on their logo at the center of the field, stopping us from doing our prayer before the game. They literally put State Patrol on the field to say, no, you can't be on our logo. We're not disrespecting the logo. They're praying. And they invite the other team to come out. They do it before and after games.
Okay, well,
Yeah, they had
guess
6 state troopers to say no. So I think that's probably what led to the
they
handshake.
have devil workers, I guess, if we can't even pray.
Yeah, so I think that's why they didn't want us on midfield. And and someone put out an article saying, "Oh, that fueled Iowa." Well, it sure didn't, because in the first half we were absolutely
They scored 0
dominating.
points in the first half.
We dominated them. They couldn't run the ball. We didn't have a quarterback. We shot ourselves in the foot. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves.
100%. And I saw a couple people say that it was the most Nebraska way to lose. Iowa never beats us. We beat ourselves in this game.
We throw a pass on the 3-yard line and throw it right to the other team. Those are the kind of things. So Iowa just smells bad. Donnie, man,
It does.
If you go past Iowa City, go towards Cedar Rapids, woo, get some nose plugs. Yeah, again, it sucks. It does.
It does.
I don't have anything else to say about the game. Again, it sucks to lose to Iowa. But one thing I know about Iowa, and I said it before on one I posted earlier, and a couple people liked it, commented on it, is we are their championship game. Everyone says
they say
we're their Super Bowl.
their Super Bowl.
Balls. We're your championship game because you ain't never gonna stiff a championship trophy except for that Heroes Trophy. That is your championship trophy.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I mean, they will never win a natty.
Not with Kirk Ferentz.
True. I know. Even Mihaela
And probably never after
even
that.
Mihaela's like, oh my gosh. Like, they were showing some things about him, and she was like, he's got a pretty good record, but like, it's all just like boring, and like, he's old and he sucks. And I was like,
he's old and he
you
sucks.
don't even know, and you're speaking our language.
She knows, but she doesn't know. She listens to Two Average Guys. She's
Yeah,
fine.
she might.
We look at what happened yesterday. We're not happy about it. We are going to get to a bowl game. Let's go win our bowl game. Let's go 7-6 on the year. Let's get that winning.
I know Donnie. I think it was Donnie said like, "Oh, be careful what you wish for with Ole Miss." I want to play somebody like that. I want to see like where we're at. Like, maybe they have guys opt out.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I want to play an SEC team or a good Pac-12, not Pac-12, Big 12, or ACC team. Pac-12, Pac-2. No, I want to play a good team and see where we're at and see.
Yeah.
Like, if we win that game, I know people will be like, well, they had players opt out. Whatever. I don't care. I want to play somebody worth a damn in a game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to play some scrubs. And
I don't want no scrubs.
because we'd probably lose that game. I want to play somebody good because, if we lose, we lose. I don't care. We get Carter Nelson playing. We get Quinn Clark playing.
But I want to see a game that we can win because if we lose, that's bad. If we lose,
I know it is, but the guys are still together for a month.
Yeah.
And if you get somebody
and if we have
decent, right? If you get somebody decent that we're playing against, that's gonna get them even more jazzed up, jacked up for getting ready for that game.
and they can potentially have more opt-outs too.
Right, and then if you win that game, that's even a bigger step forward.
Yeah. And, hey, so John, Sioux City's been called the armpit of Iowa, so Council Bluffs is the crotch. Good point.
John's pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's comical.
So, Joel, praying at midfield, again, USC had a problem with us at midfield, too. I don't know.
That's California.
I don't know when it became such a big deal. And so USC had a problem with it. All of a sudden, Iowa has never had a problem with it. And now all of a sudden, this year, they have a problem with it. That doesn't make sense to me, and to me it's very petty.
Being shitty to Nebraska.
So what? Honestly, I don't have a problem with the not shaking hands. I really don't. Like, this is a rivalry game. It is one of those games where you get up for, you get
saw
angry.
that linebacker call that Matt Rule.
Higgins,
out of here,
suck
brother.
Suck it.
I don't give a shit.
We absolutely dominated you guys. And
you've had kickers over the years that have disrespected us.
Last
everything.
Last year, you guys flipped off our entire sideline.
Yeah, I don't care about any of your players.
Throw your middle fingers
of your
up.
feelings.
Yeah. So middle finger to you guys too. We don't care about Iowa. This is what the rivalries are about. I don't care about the no handshake. I saw a few people calling out, especially ex-Huskers. They thought it was classless. Classless is not allowing our guys to come on the field and do their pregame ritual. They always do every year.
And pray. That's
putting
classless.
cops out there. Even Rule thought that was kind of funny. It's like, guys, seriously? Really?
Or how about
We're not stopping on the logo.
How about Fickle sending his cop at Donovan last week?
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Go back to your cheese factory.
You guys got worked yesterday too.
Again, people can call it classist all you want, but Iowa has no class. Again, keep your middle fingers in the air, Iowa. Again,
I'll put my middle fingers in the air.
Enjoy your championship trophy, the Heroes Trophy. Congratulations. Go to another bowl game. Do what you got to do there. But that's all you'll ever get. So, all right. So let's look at. Okay, go potty. Go.
Okay, upstairs to the right.
Um,
Stop. Sorry.
Let's look at what else happened yesterday. So
Minnesota beat Wisconsin.
Which Wisconsin had 22 years in a row they've been to a bowl.
22, yeah.
22, and now not anymore.
Yeah. They came back. They actually, I was putting up my Christmas stuff, and it was like 21-0, and I was like, man, Wisconsin really sucks. And they came back. They got, I think it was maybe 21-10.
Okay.
They scored a touchdown. Should have scored another. Had to settle for a field goal, and then Minnesota got another touchdown. And then PJ Fleck in the post game is
I didn't watch.
just
I
a
can
douche,
can
man.
only imagine.
He's like, row the boat, let's take the axe back, and screaming, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this person.
Dude, how did Georgia move up 2 spots in the AP poll? Let's talk about the AP.
No, the AP doesn't come out until tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
This is last
it's Saturday.
I know.
Oh my god!
I went to pull it up and I was like, "Wait, there's games going on now."
My son had to remind me earlier that it was only
it
was Saturday.
It
not
was Friday yesterday.
Okay,
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
I wish like hell that they would have lost that game. And then what's the score of the Tennessee Vandy game?
What I think
Tennessee's up by 19.
Yeah, they pulled out. What I've seen in college football this year is
parody.
Chaos. Chaos is what we want. This is why I want Michigan to win. Cause absolute chaos. And Georgia almost losing yesterday, going to 8 overtimes. Absolute chaos. And that should drop them from...
This is about to be chaos right here.
Yeah, so now Michigan is
takes
up.
a 13-10 lead with 45 seconds left.
Woo!
At the shoe.
Bring it, Michigan. Let's go.
Finish your point, and then I got a point.
But you got teams like Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin just crying about, we deserve this, we deserve that. Dude, you barely beat Mississippi State. You don't deserve anything. The SEC, you can talk all you want. And I decided to talk. I trolled a little bit, which I normally don't do because sometimes you're on some bad eggs. But I had to troll a little bit because we had a guy talked about how you got to start doing what all these other teams do and start scheduling your bottom of the barrel teams against your top teams. That's why the Big Ten is so good. I said, wait, so your bottom of the barrel teams like Oklahoma, Kentucky, Arkansas, Vandy are not bottom of the barrel? Y'all
No, because they won
losing.
a big game, so
But
they're not bottom of the barrel.
Just because you play in the SEC doesn't make you a great team. You lost to OU, who's been awful, who's brand new to the SEC. You lost to Vandy. You lost to Kentucky. You lost to these teams that you shouldn't be losing to. You almost lost to Georgia Tech in overtime. You're not that good. Like, stop. Get off your damn high horse.
I know.
Kirby, get off your high horse. Mm-hmm. Lane Kiffin, shut your mouth. You guys are not as good as you think you are.
Nobody in the SEC this year is championship worthy, in my opinion.
But the funny thing is, it doesn't matter what you think about your own conference. It's when you play out of conference. Yep. You schedule a Mercer the second or third to last game. I hope Auburn beats Alabama, and guess what? They might.
They might.
They beat Ole Miss. Yeah, they beat Ole Miss last week. These things can happen. It's because you got to play the games on the field. I really hope A&M beats Texas.
100%.
Gets them to the championship.
That's my
game.
biggest game of the week because if A&M wins, they go to...
And then Rex is happy.
Yeah, I mean,
we like our boy Rex.
But then you have Georgia versus A&M, which takes away Texas's credibility up top.
Yep.
Alabama's credibility, which is scarce at this point.
I feel like Auburn's gonna win. Donnie, yes.
There's so like. I'm sorry if NIL and the portal has saturated that SEC field, but it at least at this point, it seems like it has.
Yeah,
There's not a dominant team. And Saban leaving definitely hurts Alabama.
It does. But at the same time, it does, but it doesn't. It does in the sense of your coaching style and the way that you do things on the field. But they still have 4 and 5 star guys.
They do.
So it's all about who does DeBoer bring into the coaching staff? Because he's not a bad coach. It's all about who does he bring in to help. Because right now, that's where I think they're probably lacking is that.
Why is Ohio State throwing 1-yard passes with 30 seconds left?
Trying to move it downfield to get field goal position.
But no, my point was I was. I won't even get into my car situation, but I was in the car yesterday and I was listening to a random national sports talk radio because, the Dan Patricks and the Jim Romes and even our local guys were off for, the holiday and Black Friday or whatever. So these guys were so random. I don't even know who they were. Maybe this guy played in the SEC. I don't know. But he went off on a rant about there's no way in hell that Boise State should be the 4 seed. Maybe they shouldn't. Okay, I can understand that. But the SEC should have 2 teams in the top 4. They should have 4 to 5 teams in the field. And he was like screaming on the radio. And I was like, this guy is a psychopath for one.
Yeah.
And maybe in years past, I would agree with you. Not this year. The SEC is way spread out with their talent. There's no dominant team. There's in years past, I'd say there's 3 dominant teams.
There's one.
Speaking of which, there's been 2 that have made the Natty before that they played each other. There's 1.
We have 1 right now this year.
Who's
1 Oregon.
SEC.
No, I'm just saying right now we have 1.
Oh,
team.
1 overall.
1 overall.
Yeah, I mean you can say that. I agree because they're undefeated. Yeah, they played tight with Boise. They played tight with Ohio State. They played tight with Wisconsin. But yeah, they're undefeated.
And it is not easy to go undefeated right now.
No, it's not. So I can agree that it is the one dominant team.
Because here's what happens. In this game right now, Michigan's up 13-10. It's 4th and 9 for Ohio State.
20-something seconds.
20-something seconds. They have to get a field goal.
Ryan Day's face is so red.
Ohio State loses. That opens the door for Indiana and or Penn State, right?
Yes.
Or Penn State, sorry. Or Penn State for the championship game.
But that also opens
Ohio State's still in the playoff.
They are.
But it's still in the playoff. But this is where things get kind of tricky because for a team like Indiana, Michigan wins the game. Unbelievable. High five. I love it.
No, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it.
Chaos!
I was hoping that would happen.
Fire! Where you at, Will Howard?
I hate Will Howard. He's such a douche.
But it's so funny again. Like the SEC, dude, you are losing 3 games, and 2 of your 3 losses are to unranked, horrible, bottom of the barrel SEC teams, and you still think you deserve a spot at the table.
Oh, that was the other thing. The guy that went on that rant that I was telling you about, he was like, and people are gonna say so-and-so lost to Kentucky. Kentucky is a great team. They are 1-7 in conference.
Awful.
And they're playing Louisville today, and they're getting beat by 35 points. 30 points.
Ohio State just got a gift. An
What?
absolute gift.
That wasn't after the whistle, but that's Ernest Hausman, Columbus, Nebraska.
They called, what do they call it, personal foul? If it was after the whistle, it doesn't matter. But they're giving Ohio State the first down.
Oh my God, the fix is in.
Oh, wait, no, they didn't. Did they give it after the whistle?
It had to be after they gave
Because now they're waving.
It had to be after they gave them the ball. It
had to be personal foul.
They stopped him. It had nothing to do with the play.
I absolutely love this. Michigan, baby, there you go. Sharon Moore.
Not only that, Michigan becomes bowl eligible because they were 5-6.
That's insane.
After winning the Natty.
That is insane.
Who gets a better bowl game, Nebraska or Michigan?
I don't know, man. Put them both in a good bowl. Although Nebraska fans travel better.
Okay, let's play them. Did they ever play Duke? No, I want to play. I want to play a team from a different conference just to get
that's
a different perspective, just to play a different style of football. Like I don't know if it was Donnie earlier that said, "I wish Nebraska would have never left or would have never joined the Big Ten." If Nebraska was in the Big 12 right now, I think our games would be more fun to watch.
Dude, he's lost 4 straight to Michigan.
I know, it's hilarious. It's comical.
4 straight. It is comical. So Penn State's going to play in the championship game if they win today.
If they lose
they're
to
going to play.
Indiana?
They're going to play Oregon. Oregon's going to beat them because Oregon's a better team. That is absolutely insane. I love it. They beat them at the shoe. They beat them 4 years in a row.
That's going to take, Ohio State should take a hit for that. I know the committee will be like, it's the biggest game of the college football season, Michigan against Ohio State. Michigan was 5-6, and you were at home.
As long as Texas wins, which I don't want them to. But again, absolute chaos. Bring it. Whoever underdogs win today.
Yes, please.
Love it. This is amazing. And you know what's really funny is they talked about before the game. They talked about how some of these guys for Ohio State.
I wasn't going to bring this down so we could watch this, but I'm so glad I did.
These 4th or 5th year guys came back. These 5-year guys, whatever, came back for this game. They said, I came back just for this game. And they're like, oh, they skipped the NFL. No, they weren't good enough to go to the NFL. Otherwise, they would have gone to the NFL. 100%. They didn't come back and play just for this game. They came back because they didn't get drafted. And so those are Ohio State players. And so they came back for this game. And guess what? You lost again 4 years in a row, and I love it. It's amazing. It cracks me up. Dude, that's so funny. And he just took the money sign. Yep. Yo, where's your $20 million? Even though Michigan, we know what you're doing with Bryce Underwood.
Good first game of the day.
Oh, man. That's amazing.
And Gus Johnson, how you feeling about the world-famous Ohio State Buckeye?
Dude, Gus is probably going crazy right now. Yeah, why would you even allow...
Oh, dang, there's a fight on the field.
Why would you allow...
Oh, my God.
Why would you allow guys on the field...
Amazing.
That's a Ryan Day problem.
Let's get it going. I want to see this.
But that's a Ryan Day problem. Ryan Day, you should get your entire team off the field. That says a lot about Ryan Day. If you're going to bring them together in the middle of the field to do a prayer, go ahead and do it. But not after this game. This game is not the game to do it. Because those tensions are high. Get everybody off the field. That's a coach. Ryan Day is so hot-headed. I freaking hate Ryan Day. He's so freaking cocky. I'm so glad he lost.
All those players are cocky.
Now they're going to start calling for his head again because now he can't beat Michigan. 4 years in a row.
Oh, they definitely will. And especially if they were number 2, which in the playoff they were number 5, which they were saying all week. Ohio State has the easiest path to the semifinals because if they're the 5 seed, they play the 12 seed because Oregon. Essentially Oregon being number 1, they can't be in the top 4. They're the 5 seed. Okay. They play the 12, and then they play Boise State.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way.
Just threw the Michigan flag on the
Oh, jeez.
Just walk off, though.
They said Ohio State had the easiest path. Now, where are they at?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, are they 7, 8? Are they going to host a playoff game? Are they not?
But here's what's kind of interesting. So
Will Howard is... overrated to me, but
I understand the argument of Boise being number 4 and getting a bye. I understand it.
I do.
But here's what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted 12-team playoff. Everybody was like, yeah, this sounds great. 4 auto bids. And now, again, we're in the first year and everyone's pissed about it.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten there yet. We don't even know who the teams are yet.
You wanted this. You wanted 12 teams. Guess what? Was it going to be 16 years? And
now it's
16 teams?
Now these teams are getting buys. It's like, if you're not in the top 12, if you're team 13, you have you have no foot to stand on.
Yeah, look, Ryan Day doesn't even care.
Yeah. If you're not in the top 4, okay, you had a loss or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose those games.
Don't lose 3 games. You don't deserve to be in the top 12.
I can kind of agree as far as like the Boise State getting the 4. If they get the 4 seed, they get a bye. Because I've said it for years. I always thought it should be 8 teams. There was 5 conferences.
Mm-hmm.
You do 5 conference champs, 2 at large, and a group of 5. Yep. And more than likely that group of 5 would be 8. Yes. And they would have to play number 1.
Yes.
So that is why, the Boise's are getting a bye now.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
It's like, I said they should have been the 8 seed. But honestly, I think it's just going to be fun. Like, how much fun is the NCAA basketball tournament? You know, how much fun are all the college, because it's college sports.
Yes.
Anybody can win on any given day.
So a question. I have a question. Before, we're going to end the show here.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Last question. Does Ryan Day, and Ross said it here too, is Ryan Day going to be fired after today?
I don't.
Not after today, end of the season. 4 years in a row losing to Michigan. 0 national titles. He's got the second to best win percentage in his first 5 years as a head coach. 0 national titles. He's not going to be playing for the Big Ten championship more than likely. And he's lost 4 years in a row to their biggest rival.
When you first when you first asked the question, I had a response in my mind, and as we go down the line, it's like, well, I don't think that he is. I think, you talk about that winning percentage. Like, if Ohio State fired him, he would go somewhere else and be successful. There's no doubt about that. But he's not going to the Big Ten championship. Lost to a mid Michigan team. I don't think they fire him, but I think there's probably some serious conversations being had.
I bet those boosters.
As far as like
all those people with money.
Yeah. They're probably saying, hey, you need to make some noise in this playoff, or your head might be on the chopping block come next year. If next year goes similar, I could see it happening.
Absolutely, 100%. But if they fire him, it's stupid. Like, to me, you got a guy that's going to take his team to the playoff again. It's stupid, but again, money talks.
I'm really glad this game wasn't in my pick'em this week, because I would have taken Ohio State. I took Ohio State against Indiana last week, even though pretty much everybody else in the fam took Indiana. I was just like, Ohio State, big game. They're not gonna, let this one go away. Michigan, I know, and I hate when people are like, this is the biggest college football game of the season. Yes, every time it is a good, close game.
Yeah.
But that's how it was with Nebraska-Oklahoma. That's how it was with Nebraska-Colorado.
I think depending on what they do in the playoff could also tell a story for them. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they, depending on where they end up in the playoff rankings.
It's going to be interesting. Things got more exciting today, and they could get more and more exciting.
No, and I think that it should. Like, in years past, it's just been boring. It's like, well, we know who's going to be the top 4.
Yeah.
Maybe not last year with Florida State, who should have been in, but it's like now, an 11 could beat a 6. Like
Boise, Jonty had another 226-yard day and a TD. I mean, he was fantastic.
Yeah, you really just don't know, because they play certain styles in certain conferences and stuff like that. We're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yep. 100%. All right. Hey, as always, go Big Red.
Yes.
We
got a bowl game.
We didn't win yesterday, but we're going to a bowl game.
We'll have to chat about where we end up and, depending on who the matchup is and where it's at.
Hey, and the best news of all is you guys get more of 2 average guys.
Oh, 100%.
You get more. You get more weeks of us, not just days, weeks. It's fantastic. Let's go Big Red. I'm Matt.
I'm Jimmy.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the love. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Hope you enjoyed your turkey, your ham, your stuffing, everything. Your pie, most importantly. And
my mom brought me one over today.
And your Cool Whip. So, everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Can't beat Michigan. Bye.
Came out here to watch a game of football. John, Forever Street. Yeah, I know. I'm just making conversation. Come on. Football.